Hello. Welcome back to the Grace Yourself podcast, and I'm so happy to be back. I am so sorry for not posting. I recently have just been a little busy, a little stressed, and I was feeling uninspired. And I would rather not post than post something that sounds horrible because I'm not inspired to even talk about it. You know what I mean? So I decided to not post. And going forward, I can't give you guys a deadline on when I would and would not post because I don't know. I recently just finished my last semester at the college I'm currently at, and I'm moving on to a different college because I'm going to be starting EMT school. Super excited for that, and I cannot wait. That starts on Monday. Just been finishing up my classes, working, had lots of doctor's appointments because I was needing to get all these things done for schooling. But now we're back, and that's what matters. Today, I'm going to be talking about my favorite movies and shows that I've ever watched, okay? And I I like watching shows but and movies, but I will not watch them if I'm not interested. I'll stop. I don't care how far I am in the series. If I'm not interested, I'm not going to watch. So I think all the series that I'm covering I've finished. Yeah. I'm covering 3. Oh, perfect. I'm covering 3 TV show series and 3 movies. Of these TV show series, 2 of them are like still currently um being filmed, and I've watched all of them up to the most current ones, and then one of them is completely done and I've finished it. In the 2 movies, 3 movies, I watched all of them. Let's get into it. The first show that I'm going to talk about, this is one of my top favorites, is Grey's Anatomy. And I've rated it like, what did I rate it? On paper, I wrote it as a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to actually give it an 8 out of 10. I love the plot. It's a great show. Bro, what am I talking about? It's a great show. However, there were some things I didn't like about it, and that's what is going to knock down the points to an 8 instead of a 10. I did not like the COVID and TikTok era. There was an era of Grey's Anatomy where oh, by the way, guys, my reviews of these are going to include spoilers. So if you hear me mention a movie or show that you haven't watched, be prepared there might be spoilers in there. Just letting you know. Anyways, there was an era of Grey's Anatomy that was kind of COVID and TikTok focused in the sense of like they were making TikTok videos and they were, you know, it was COVID in the show. And that's real, that's real life. I know COVID and TikTok are real things. However, I'm watching shows and TV to get away from reality. You know what I mean? So, watching the show and then seeing like real life, which I guess it is a medical show, so it makes sense. My cat is like super focused on something right now. Hi. Um, her cuteness made me lose my train of thought. Oh, I know it's a medical show, so obviously it's gonna be somewhat realistic. However, I don't want to hear about TikTok. I don't want to hear about TikTok and COVID when I'm trying to watch a good show. You know what I mean? If you guys are watching the video version of this, you're getting a little cat cameo. Juniper. She doesn't know that she's in it. But I'm set up on, if you'd noticed, I'm on a different little view this time. You're set up to my window instead of my desk this time. And she loves looking at the window. So you can tell that she's looking, which is really funny to me. Anyways, another thing I didn't like about Grey's Anatomy was there's so many sex scenes and so much, like so many love triangles. And that just stresses me out. Like I'm not watching the show because I want to see all these sex scenes. You know what I mean? No. I don't I it just put me off. constantly one person cheating on another person, or this person being into this person, or staring at this person, or this person cheated on this person with this person, and they're all doctors at the same hospital. It was just too much for me. I understand some people are really into that um in shows. I'm not. And that really is one of the main reasons that I knocked it down. Like honestly, the COVID part and the TikTok part was so brief that that's fine. But all the constant love triangles and sex scenes is just it just puts me off of a show. And I just yeah. However, I do I do say that it's still one of my favorite shows simply because of how much I enjoyed every other aspect of it. I absolutely loved how intense some of the scenes were, like the plane crash scenes, one of my favorites. And whenever like one of the doctors would die, don't get me wrong, I would cry. But I also rewatch many of those episodes because of how amazing they were. When Derek dies, I'm absolutely heartbroken, and I cannot believe that they would do that to Meredith. When George dies, oh my gosh, that one was a rough one, especially because like as watchers, we knew it was George. Oh, well, actually, as watchers, do we know it's George? Oh wait, yeah. Yeah. I think as watchers we know it's George, or maybe I've watched it so many times that I don't remember the first time I watched it, so obviously I know it's George. Either way, I feel like I remember it like showing George be like, "Watch out!" before the girl goes into the like in the front of the bus, and then it shows someone being brought in, hit by a bus, and you can tell that it's a guy, so obviously put context clues together, you think it's George. I think. Anyways, when George died, that was so sad because none of them knew it was him. They were caring for him. And then she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's George." And they're like, "No, it's not George." And she's like, "No, it's George." And then it was George. That was sad. Um, yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say about that. But Grey's Anatomy, 8 out of 10. I really do enjoy it. And it is a show that I have rewatched. Next, The Rookie. Oh my gosh. This was a recent obsession. And I tell you, I watched like all I think they're on season yeah, season 7 right now. And when I tell you I think I watched like all of this in the span of a week and a half. I caught up completely to where they are currently. Oh, in Grey's Anatomy, I've watched all of it up to the current episodes, you know? But with The Rookie, same. I've watched it all the way up to the current episodes, and I was actually quite upset because I did not realize there were that many. Like, it was so. It's only at season. Like, Grey's Anatomy, there's like 22 seasons of that. The Rookie, there's only 7. So when I caught up so quickly and realized, oh my gosh, this is still a recent show, I was so sad. And I was like, no, because I was so into it. And then I was like, oh, now I actually have to wait for the next episode to come out. Not cool. I really don't like doing that, which is why I normally watch shows that are like all the way out already because I don't want to wait for the next episode. Whatever. I love The Rookie. 10 out of 10 show. I kid you not. This is one of my top favorite shows I have ever watched. I love the suspense. I love the plot. I love that the love is not the main focus of the show. And yes, there's love, and yes, it's like people are kissing, but I'm fine watching kissing. I don't need to watch you two get in bed together and do all of the stuff that you're doing when you get in bed together. I don't need to watch that. And Grey's Anatomy goes a little too in depth with that stuff that it's just like it's pointless. I don't need to watch it. But The Rookie, obviously they're kissing, it's implied they like each other. Perfect balance of actual show and showing some love. You know? I love it. What else did I write about The Rookie? Oh, well, that's all I wrote, but I feel like I need to talk more about it because I love it so much. Nolan is probably one of my favorite characters. I know he is the main character, but I do love him. I love how he cares for others and he's not like traditionally the age that someone would be when they become a cop. I like how he's like the older figure and you can tell that some of the people look up to him. But they also kind of like keep it comical and make fun of him too. I think it's really funny. And at first I was a little sad cuz like they took that video of Nolan not being able to get over the gate to make fun of him. At first, I was like, no, because I didn't want them to make fun of him. But it all turned out good in the end, so I was really happy about that. And what was that one cop's name? And he died. Hmm. And then they named the kid after them. West. His last name was West. I can't remember his first name. He was one of the three original rookies and he died. I was so sad because I liked his character and they killed him off. Like, I also thought it was funny how the one like drug boss lady. Oh wait, I swear I love these shows. I just don't keep track of all of the names because I have higher priorities in my life to deal with. But the mafia drug lord lady, La Fiera, you know who I'm talking about. Um, she when she gave the bracelet to that one detective lady to like the red bracelet to protect her, loved that unconventional friendship. Even though she goes on to kidnap her, and you know we don't really like that. However, it was a sweet moment before they kidnapped her and said they were gonna keep her until her baby was born and then kill her. Besides the point, it's a bit stressful at times. And right now, where they are currently, it's on the cusp of figuring out if Lucy passes the sergeant's exam. Because if she does, that means that her and the guy, I can't remember anyone's name right now, Bradford, Officer Bradford and Lucy probably are going to get together if she passes the sergeant exam because they're in love and they can't date because he's like in command of her in like the order of command or whatever. So they can't. So if she passes it- and they were dating and then they broke up. So I'm really excited to see where that goes cuz I am invested in their dynamic. It's lovely. But as a whole, I love that show. Definitely one of my favorite shows of all time, which makes sense being that this video is about my favorite shows of all time. Anyways, let's move on. Last show I'm going to talk about BoJack Horseman. Okay? Cartoon, but beautifully done. It's deep, has lovely messages while still having like a great comedic effect and not being so deep that it's like I can't watch this because it's going to stress me out and make me think about life that much. Except for, I think this is the very last episode, The View from Halfway Down, where he's like died because he overdosed. And then he's like talking about this poem. And he's like, I wish I could have known like the view from halfway down. That made me cry. I was crying. As someone who's struggled with like having depressive thoughts and things like that, I'm I'm okay now, guys. But as someone who's struggled with stuff like that, it is a great perspective to see, especially maybe for other people out there who are actually in the midst of their struggles, because it puts new perspective on it. It's like, wow, I even though he like yes, depressed, but he overdosed, you know? Either way, he died. And I think it was a great perspective shift to show what like just something different. When you're in that mindset, it doesn't matter that you're going to die sometimes. You know what I mean? You just want to not feel how you're feeling. So I feel like The View from Halfway Down was like really eye-opening for me at least because it was like, "Oh gosh, like you're right. I wish I could have known what this would be like because I wouldn't have done it and I would have been more grateful." You know? And I finished the show a while ago, so I'm going to be honest, I can't remember if he survived. No, he did. Yeah, he survived. He did survive because he Wait. Well, he did survive. I know that for a fact. Well, do I? Because that'd be embarrassing if he doesn't survive. I think he survives. Um, Either way, I love BoJack Horseman. I also love that like it's kind of random, but it keeps a plot overall. And I was just about to say something, but I can't remember what I was gonna say. It was good though. I really liked. I don't know, guys. The style, and I rated that one a 9 out of 10. It was great. I don't have much else to say about that because it was just good. I don't have anything to hate on it. I don't think actually, but I just don't rate it a 10 out of 10. Maybe I wish it would have gone on for more seasons, but that's not a reason to mark it down because you don't want to get repetitive and just. Yeah. Let's move on to movies. First movie. This one is The Thing. That's the name of the movie. There was a remake. I'm talking about the 1982 version, okay? It's an old movie. And I work at a gym, and this was actually recommended by someone who goes to the gym. One of the trainer's clients, she recommended that I watch this movie, and I did. And I loved it. It was honestly a really good movie, and I don't know. It was good. No love. It was just like a bunch of men. I don't even think there was a girl in the movie. Bunch of men living in some deserted, maybe Antarctica or something, and like this alien takes over your body, and then it doesn't show that it's taking over your body. Like you don't, like nobody else knows, and then the whole thing is like, oh, who's the thing now? Who's the alien like in control of now? And it's like people died and like people were killed because it's like, oh, we think you're the thing, and then like everyone's turning on each other, but then they're like, oh wait, we know who the thing was first, like the first person infected, so who was alone with this person and could have gotten infected, and then they rule it out. That really good. Again, I don't have much to say about this one, but it was nice. It was a mindless watch, and it was kind of old timey in a sense, so I liked it. Let's move on. This next movie, if you know me, this is my favorite movie. And I mean, you might not know this if you know me, but recently, I feel like I've talked about it more. I've watched this movie forever. This is my favorite movie of all. Ugh, my nose is itchy. One second. Okay. I love this movie. I watched it as a child. I've watched it a million times growing up. I would watch it again. Never gets old. I love it. The Princess Bride. It's made in 1987. I really recommend you to watch it. Guys, my nose is itchy. Okay. Okay, I'm good again. Whenever I bring up this movie, I get very mixed reviews. Either someone knows about it and loves it, or someone's like, "Oh yeah, that's a classic." They are like, "Oh, I've never heard of that ever." Or they assume that it's like some like movie like Princess Diaries, which I don't think I've ever seen, but they think it's like a girlier movie. You know what I mean? And nothing wrong with it being a girlier movie. I'm just saying that a lot of people judge it like that. You know what I mean? And they'll be like, "Oh, it's just some princess movie." Pff, please. You wish. No. Best movie ever. Adventure, love. Yes, there's a princess in it. Action, travel. Anything you could want in a movie. Maybe not everything. You can have in this movie. It's amazing. I love every character. I love the scene where he's like, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You're gonna kill my father. You killed my father. Prepare to die." Love that. I love her. I love that their love prevailed. And then Wesley's like, "Ugh, you left me so quickly for that prince." And then she's like, "Boy, please. Like, I never loved that man." And Wesley, like, died and I never moved on and I will never love again after him. And then she pushes him down the hill. And in the movie, Wesley was like the farmhand and she or something. I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna say farmhand though. on the farm that she lived on, and she was like a princess or something, or just really wealthy. No, she wasn't a princess, but she was just wealthy, and had a farm. And she became a princess once, I think. I'm not exactly sure about that part. Beside the point, he would always say, as you wish, whenever she would ask him to do something. So they have this argument, and he's like kidnapped her, kind of. And in the future, he's kidnapped her, and this is when they're having the argument. And he's like, you loved him so quickly after your sweet Wesley left, because she doesn't know it's Wesley. And because he has a mask on. And she did have a blindfold on until like he took the blindfold off, but he has a mask on. And he's like, "You never loved me." Like, you never loved him. I not me, because she doesn't know it's him. Anyways, she pushes him down the hill, and as he's rolling, because she was like, "Don't talk to me like that." Whatever. Pushes him down the hill. And as he's rolling, he yells, "As you wish." And then she's like, "Oh, my sweet Wesley," and throws herself down the hill, which a little dramatic girl, you could have walked or ran. You didn't need to throw yourself down. But I think it was made in the sense of like, I just hurt my sweet Wesley. Now I need to do the same thing to me. Rolls down the hill, and they land at the same place on the hill. And then she's like, "My sweet Wesley, I thought you died." Blah, 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 blah. Ugh. That movie is amazing. And like, oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to move on, but seriously guys, if you have not seen The Princess Bride, I'm begging you to watch it and let me know what you think about it. I hope you like it. And if you don't, I'm sorry, but I would never hate this movie. Let me move on. Last movie that I'm going to discuss. I actually watched this just the other day for the first time. Oh, by the way, if I didn't say it, Princess Bride was a 10 out of 10 if you didn't get the hint. That was my rating. Anyways, did I rate the other movie The Thing? I don't know if I did, so 8 out of 10. Princess Bride, 10 out of 10. This movie I'm about to talk about. This is a hyped up movie. Everyone, like, I always hear everyone being like, this is that my favorite movie, this and that, this and that. I will say it's a good movie. Not the best movie I've ever watched, because we know that's a Princess Bride. But not the best movie I've ever watched, but it truly is a great movie. Interstellar. Interstellar. Stellar. Interstellar. Yeah, Interstellar. I'm having a bit of trouble saying that. I've been saying it wrong a little bit, I think, because I keep saying interstellar, but I'm like skipping the T's. It's Interstellar. I rated it a 7 out of 10. Still a top movie. I don't really watch that many movies because I don't find ones that I like. I watched a Minecraft movie the other day. It was interesting. Anyways, Interstellar. 7 out of 10. The visuals were amazing. Beautiful, especially when he goes into that black hole and it's like he's falling and then it like is, I want to say Matrix, like it looks like a Matrix, but if I'm being honest, I don't know what a Matrix looks like. It's just when I think of a Matrix, I could think of this being something a Matrix looks like. But it's a black hole and it's showing all these different things, and it shows a bookcase. Like it's a bookcase. And when his ugh, I just let me back up a little bit so you get the like whole vibe. He was an astronaut or something, and then the world, and then he stops being an astronaut. And the world is like dying because they're running out of resources, and they have a ghost in their house. They're not scared of the ghost or anything. It's not like that. It's just in the sense of like they have a ghost that like pushes books off the bookshelf and stuff. And he has a daughter and a son. The son and the grandpa are kind of irrelevant in this movie. It's basically just the daughter and him, which are the main characters, and like some astronauts and stuff like that. But the things are falling off, blah blah blah, and there's a dirt storm, like a sand, dirt, windy thing. They come home, they rush in, and he's like, "Did you guys close your windows?" And Murphy, the daughter, is like, "Ah," and runs up to go close her window, and he comes after her to help, closes the window, and then on the ground there's like lines and dashes or something. And they're like, "What is this?" And she's like, "It's the ghost." And because the ghost is like trying to tell her something. And he realizes it's coordinates. So they decide, he says, "I'm gonna go figure out what this is." Um, and she's like, "Let me go with you." And he's like, she was like, "Let me go with you. We don't know what it is." And he was like, "Exactly. We don't know what it is. So you're not coming with me." He leaves and she was actually hiding in the trunk. So she pops out and he's like, "Ah." And she's like, "Ah." He's like, "You think this is funny?" And they joked around about it. They get to the place. And when they get to the place the coordinates are at, they get to like this gated thing. And they're like, "What is this?" And then like a huge bright light comes out and it's like, "Stop where you are." Talking to them, takes the dad, takes the daughter, so on and so forth. They get in. Turns out it's NASA. Sorry about that, guys. My phone ran out of storage. Anyways, I literally don't remember where I was. Okay. Sandstorm. That's where we're going to start from. Okay. Sandstorm, dirt storm. Run into their coordinates. They go to the place. A flash of light. I do remember where I was. Flash of light. They bring them in. It's NASA. NASA's been discontinued. Long story short, the guy goes up to space to save the world. The daughter's distraught and says, "Don't go, don't go. I figured out what the ghost was trying to say. It was trying to say, stay." Anyways, they're in space trying to save the world, and they realize that he was actually the ghost. He was the ghost because when he went into the black hole, they were in the in like her room basically, and behind the bookshelf, and he's like slamming on the bookshelf to make the books fall in the correct order, and she's there as an adult now, and she's putting all the pieces together, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you were my ghost." And then fast forward, they find like something happens. They find him. He's in the world now, and the daughter saved the world because they were like, "Oh, it chose you." The astronauts were like, "It chose you, Cooper. You're the one who's supposed to save the world. It told you the coordinates." But then Cooper's in space and realizes it. It meaning they, meaning like the five-dimensional figures or whatever they said in the movie, weren't choosing him. They were choosing his daughter. And he gets back to the world, and time's different on space than in Earth. So he gets back, and his daughter's like on her deathbed, like about to die, and she saved the world, and they're living in like some tube like structure near Saturn or something. And but they're alive, and like she saved the world or something. And it was amazing. And he gets to her hospital bed and is talking to her, and she's like, "You were my ghost." And he was like, "I was your ghost." And I cried because she was so old and he missed her entire life, but she wasn't mad anymore because she realized like what had happened. So yeah. Anyways, the visuals were great, yeah. And oh, plot twist, when the one of the astronauts tried to kill Cooper in space. Like, are you kidding me? Because the astronaut realized it was like Dr. Man or something. And he realized that he was wrong and that the place that they had found in space was not livable, like he told everyone it was. So he had to kill Cooper so that, like, I don't know. Anyways, those were my favorite movies and shows. I'm not going to tell you guys the next time I'm going to make a podcast episode because I have no clue. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't want to make videos and podcast episodes for you guys that I'm not inspired to make. So I'm not going to. I'll make them when I feel like it. However, I'm feeling a little inspired, so maybe there'll be another one in the sooner future. Thank you for listening. I am always appreciative of you to join in on whatever platform you're watching. Remember, you can listen to me at Grace Yourself on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. The video version is on YouTube, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you ever have any requests or recommendations or something you want me to talk about, message me. Grace M. Burkholder on Instagram. Most of you guys know me though, so That's fine. Just come talk to me, guys. You know who I am. But yeah, thanks for listening and bye.